The Stanford Prison Experiment was designed by Professor Philip Zimbardo of Stanford University with the aim to investigate how easily individuals would conform to the rules of a prison setting. The experiment was conducted between August 14th and 20th of 1971 at Stanford University. It was funded by the U.S. Office of Naval Research to study the psychology of imprisonment. The basement of the psychology building was converted into a mock prison. Students of Stanford University were chosen to participate in the study in response to an advertisement found in the local newspaper. They were evaluated for psychological problems and medical disabilities, and finally, 24 male students were chosen and paid $15 a day to participate in the experiment. After receiving a very vague form of informed consent, participants were randomly assigned roles of prisoner or guard. Prisoners were then arrested at their homes without warning, booked, and taken to the mock jail. Guards were given uniforms, whistles, and billy clubs. Prisoners were treated like every other criminal throughout the course of the experiment, but as participants conformed to their roles, the guards became abusive and the prisoners experienced extreme levels of stress. With the quick settlement of roles by the guards and prisoners, the overall morality of the study was questioned.
I had really thought that I was incapable of this kind of behavior. I was surprised, even no, I was dismayed to find out that I could really be that I could act in a manner so absolutely unaccustomed to anything I would even really dream of doing. And while I was doing it, I didn't feel any regret. I didn't feel any guilt. It was only afterwards, when I began to reflect on what I had done, that this behavior began to dawn on me, and I realized that this was a part of me I hadn't really noticed before.
The basic principles of ethics were not followed. The rights of prisoners were removed, guards were harming prisoners with abusive tactics to receive compliance, and justice was not upheld. Prisoners did not give consent to be arrested in their homes and experienced extreme psychological harm, including deep depression, humiliation, and distress. The guards were aggressive, harassing, dehumanizing, and intimidating, and the prisoners did whatever they could to please them. No official debriefing of the participants were offered, but questionnaires did show there were no lasting negative effects. Originally planned to last 2 weeks, the study lasted only 6 days. This experiment changed the way studies would be conducted in the future. Ethical guidelines were reevaluated by the American Psychological Association, and studies must undergo an extensive review by an institutional review board before implemented. An institutional review board was not used in the creation of the Stanford Prison Experiment.